This is a short story of when we had a double booking in one of the houses. It has been the only time, and hopefully the last time, that it will ever happen to us. We learned the lesson, we learned very well, and we have systems now in place to make sure that that doesn't happen, or at least that we reduce the likelihood of that happening to be as minimum as possible. Well, I'll tell you now a story, and hopefully you never have to go through it. This is what happened. Friday night, a client business partner texted me, I have a last minute direct booking that wants to check in tomorrow. I think this house is available, and checked with me, can you confirm if this is available? And I checked quickly in the AirBNB calendar, and yep, it was available. Yes, that's no problem, they should be fine. I'll send them the information tomorrow morning. No problem. And then I carry on with my night. Then I went to sleep, woke up in the morning, nothing crazy happening. But then about 12 midday, I started receiving calls non-stop. And it was the client business partner that realized that there was something wrong. What happened was that guests arrived to the house, and then they were trying to find the key, but there was no key in the key locker, and they could see that it seemed that someone was inside the house. And then I was like, no, that cannot be possible. I checked last night, and there was no one. Like it was free, the calendar. So I checked again, and then I noticed the mistake that I made. So I made the mistake of checking Airbnb only instead of checking Airbnb and Booking.com. So when I realized that yes, I made a mistake and there was someone already there, and then all other houses that we had were fully booked, I told them, well, I'll meet you there. When we didn't know what we would do, but we knew that we had to meet the guest and solve the issue somehow. So I took the keys of my car as fast as I could, just ran to it. And of course, it's not only one thing that goes wrong. It's generally a group of things that accumulate, and then, well, you have the accumulation of everything going bad in that moment, that day. So Saturday, middays, there's never, ever traffic in Leeds on Saturday midday. But that day, I don't know, there was a match or something going on, and so much traffic, it took me so much longer to get to the guest. And not only that, but when I was halfway there, of course, it started to rain. It hadn't rained for weeks, but that day, it had to rain, of course. And the guests were waiting outside. There was nowhere that they could go to cover. And well, it started raining, we arrived there, we started putting their things as quick as we could in the cars, and one of us took them to a hotel where they stayed that night. Then I had to pick them up the following days to come back and bring them to the house because they were staying for longer. And of course, we apologized and offered a partial refund for all the inconvenience. So how did it happen? Well, what happened was that night when I received the text, I just checked the Airbnb calendar, and the Airbnb and Booking.com calendars were synced, and they were meant to be showing us blocked if there was a booking in Booking.com, but I must just have made a mistake when I checked, and I checked only the Airbnb calendar. I didn't check the Booking.com calendar or the cleaning calendar, and in the end, well, it was on error. So since that day, we decided we need a channel manager. We need to make sure we have a calendar where we have all book, and every time there's a new booking, we introduce a new booking, and if there is a clash, we will see it straight away. Yes, that's what we did. From that day on, we never looked back to not having a channel manager, and that's how we operate from now on. And of course, we needed it because we work with different booking platforms, and we had 6 properties back then, and just manually with a spreadsheet and the cleaners, it was getting messy. And of course, until that happened, well, we learned our lesson, and nothing. We just decided never again without a channel manager. In the end, the guests were happy because they got to stay in a very fancy hotel. We offered the best service that we could. They got a cheaper holiday in the end because we offered a partial refund, and they decided to extend with us because they were happy with our treatment to them and how we managed the mistake, because everyone makes mistakes, but as long as you really do your best to solve them, then I think people appreciate that. And well, that's the story, and that's it for today.